Hello, friends! Welcome back to the stream! Oh my goodness. Hi! It's lovely to be here again. I am very excited to jump into what we have in store today. Now listen. I'm gonna level with you. Life is crazy. It's always coming at you fast. Oh, thank you so much. It's because I had a shower today. So tonight, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to being here because we're doing some more solo RPG. We're going to be playing an awesome game that I'm very excited to get into. Now, simultaneously, life is unusual, and sometimes you get very busy with things that you love enjoying doing equally, which might mean that schedules conflict, and sometimes you plan to do a stream and then you run out of time to do another thing that you needed to do, and so maybe you end up playing two games at once. So, we, here on the stream, we're going to have an awesome time. We're going to play a really cool solo RPG to continue our streak in the lead up for Kiwi RPG Week, which I'm greatly looking forward to. However, at some point, I may also have to be in a chat conversation for a home game side mission that I need to finish before we have a session tomorrow. But we're doing it over Messenger, so I may have to pause now and again to do criminal stuff in a Messenger chat in a different game. Oh, goodness. So hopefully we'll mostly be focused on this today. Are you playing D&D home game stuff on stream? I won't show stuff on stream because that's not part of it, but we have to get it done before our session tomorrow night, so I will likely be sitting here doing that on stream. I will continue streaming. I'm not going to stop the stream, but if I may have to pause the game that we're playing to jump my brain to a different character to play a different game, potentially. We'll see. My ideal is that we will stay focused on this and I will deal with the chat stuff maybe tomorrow or later in the evening. But there's a potential that people are going to message me while I'm doing the stream tonight. So just a heads up, that is what that's about. We can turn it into a fun game, I guess, where whenever I have to go and do that in my brain, you know, take it as an invite to grab some water and have a snack. You know, it's good. It's a break. It's a break for everyone involved. Double roleplay. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to try real hard to keep my brain just on this, but there's a chance that that might come up. But regardless, I'm down for this hot mess. Exactly. I mean, here's the thing. The main thing is I don't want to skip this because I'm really enjoying doing all these solo RPGs with y'all in chat. It's been super fun, and I want to keep the streak going. I want us to get to a game because we already had to skip like 1 week, and I'd rather not have to do that again. So we're gonna power through. I'm gonna channel my my early 2000s forum role-playing brain, where I would be simultaneously posting in 3 different roleplay forums as various different magical high schoolers, and I will try and do both at the same time, which I think we can pretty confidently do. But so I wanted to give you all the heads up so that you understand potential hot mess behavior may be in store this evening, and I appreciate you bearing with me on that. But that is all a potential. That is all a might happen thing. And if it does, exactly, take that as a prompt to hydrate and take your meds if you need to and snack and all the good things. But the thing that we are definitely doing tonight on stream is we are playing a very cool game. We are playing a game called Muse. Now, Muse is a very cool solo RPG that I do want to give some heads up for. They are hot, it's in the name. Pin a message like Ruby double booked hot mess. Do you mind if I pin your message, Samsara? Because that's a very good point. Probably should just put that at the top of the chat. But yes, we're playing a very cool game called Muse. Now, do want to give a bit of a heads up about it because this stream is a mature stream, mostly because I swear a lot. But this game deals with, thank you so very much. Ta-da! There we go. So. Oh, whoa. There we go. Oh, that's a great point. Let's do it that way. I know how to do this. I'm a professional. Wonderful. Cool. Thank you, Samsara. So. What was I saying? Muse. Yes. Very cool game. It deals with kind of eldritch themes, like cosmic horror-ish kind of stuff. And because of that, as most of those tend to do, it also deals with, basically going insane. It is a interesting game where we are playing as a character, an artist of some kind that has, a connection to an eldritch being that is the inspiration for our artwork. And it's a really cool game in that you are encouraged to play it in whatever medium you want to play. So if your artist is a writer, they might do writing. If they are a painter, rather than journaling, you might make the paintings that this character would make. If they're a sculptor or whatever, you can do it in whatever medium you are interested in. What if they were a mime? Sure, why not? But it does involve, like, similar to Vicissitudes of Fame, where we were talking about the character is already dead, we're going to deal with the aftermath. This game is, your character is on the path to insanity, and the game ends when your character goes insane. So if that's not a storyline that you are particularly interested in delving into today or ever, that's totally fair. But because I know that that is what it is leading down, heading into it, I just wanted to give a bit of a heads up about that. Because I know that that might not be something that everybody is comfortable with. But I'm very excited about it. I'm keen to do some weird eldritch writings for the forbidden texts. Yeah, so I hope if you are interested, you're welcome to come along. I'm not going to try and go too dark with anything, really. But, you know, insanity is a given. So just base for that, look after yourself, manage however you need to and whatever you are comfortable with. But enough just talking about it, let me also show you the frickin' beautiful artwork. Look at this shit. Boom. Yay. Nice. Look at this artwork. Smash. I mean, that wasn't the question. I mean, personally, it's a little bit too Slender Man to smash on my end, but, you know, that's fair. It's so gorgeous. So this is Muse. Again, a beautiful solo RPG. You can see you've got the little easel. A solo journaling game of eldritch creativity. I'm so excited. Alright. So let's do some more. Yeah, designed and illustrated by David Makivsky. So all of the artwork in this is also actual original art by the game creator, which is super cool. I actually, when I was going through and making a list of different games to do in these streams. I have vetoed anything that includes AI art, because fuck that. So this awesome game about artistic creativity also has original artwork. Beautiful. Right, Muse, a solo journaling game of eldritch creativity. Introduction. Muse is a solo journaling horror game about an artist haunted by an eldritch muse to create works infused with dark powers. It is a tragic game that chronicles the slow process of your artist being consumed by their muse and the cursed art that they create along the way. Your artist can be of any discipline, a painter, writer, game designer, or dancer, just to name a few, but at the conclusion of the game, they will meet an untimely end. Muse takes... or a mime, yes, thank you. Muse takes between 2 and 6 hours to play from character creation to death. When the game is complete, you will have a history of an artist chronicled through their journals and a list of cursed works that can be incorporated into other role-playing games. So this is like encouraged, could be a very fun solo game to go through to create cursed artworks or artifacts of some kind to then put in like a D&D or a Monster of the Week or whatever kind of other RPG you might want to play, which is very cool. A very fun process. And some wonderful content warnings of isolation, visual and auditory hallucinations, death, and general eldritch horror. So keep that in mind as well. Alrighty. Chapter 1. Getting started. To play Muse, you will need a standard set of RPG dice. Specifically, you will need a D10, a D8, wonderful, a D6, and a D4. I have been doing my best to use a different dice set for every one of the games that we're playing on stream, although I wish that I had... Oh, actually... I was going to say, I have a very cool 2E dice single, a D20 that is, I think the style of it is called Painter's Palette, but it's basically all of the ink or the paint chips that get made when you're like inking a dice and you're coloring in the indent where the numbers are, and then you have to kind of wipe it off on a piece of paper. It's all those pieces collected over a series of different dice sets, and then those are used as the like interior of a clear set of dice, and I believe those sets are called Painter's Palette dice, but I've only got a D20 and we're not using one, so oh well. They're very cool though. Go check out 2E dice if you haven't before, because they're gorgeous. Yes, but we have our RPG dice always within easy reach in my house. And we need a journal, or way to record your artist's experiences and supernatural creations. Your journal can be anything from a physical journal or notebook to a stack of paper or a file on a computer. Well, funny you should mention that, because I've got this beautiful file right here. I do need to change the font, though, at some point, because that's still the font from Quill. If you want to upgrade your experience, lighting a few candles and finding a playlist of creepy piano music can go a long way towards setting the right mood for the game. Funny you should mention that, game. I have done just that. Although, similarly, in the what's the word? In the spirit of this being a hot mess stream, I have only put together a playlist of the wonderful tabletop audio. I have not checked that any of the songs are actually the right vibe, except for the one that you're currently listening to, so we may have to skip through a few of them. Woo! A hot mess stream! Okay. Your artist. Use the provided character sheet or the first page in your journal to record the following information about your artist. Name, pronouns, and artistic discipline. Oh boy. 50 best mime soundtracks coming up. Okay. Alright. First things first. Well, this is tricky. Hold on. Do we have any other... Hey, Nugget, thanks so much for the follow. Hope you're having fun hanging out. Okay, that's all Some character stuff. We gotta pick a good artistic name. I think... Gosh, what have we already done? We did Save Community Radio, which was like early 2000s, like 2010s. We've done Logbook of the Lighthouse Keeper, which was earlier 1900s. We've done After My Own Death, which was relatively modern day. Well, that was the future, actually. And we've done Quill, which was fantasy massacre femme name. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out. Well, I'm trying to work out what era we're going to be writing in. I think we should do another modern day one. I think that makes sense. Sebastian or Clara? Ooh. Sebastian or Clara? Ooh. I quite like Sebastian, actually. Sebastian's quite good because it gives me, like, it gives me Lemony Snicket vibes, to be perfectly honest. It's that kind of name. It also reminds me of the character from Stardew Valley, but Sebastian I do like. Oh god, I have to think of another voice as well. Oh no. Oh jeez. Okay. Okay, Sebastian. Let's do a modern text, or a modern setting, modern-ish. So let's pick some modern... Ooh! Sure. I'm sorry, the new song just kicked in. Just picked troubled artist names. Both those names feel like the kind of person who would make a pact. That's fair. Oh boy. No offense to any Sebastians or Claras. It's true, yeah. These are entirely fictitious Sebastians and Claras. Any similarities to real-life Sebastians and Claras are entirely coincidental. I don't actually want to write stuff in Korean New, but I'm trying to find the right, like, type of... I'm trying to find the right type of font and also pick one that I can do a lot of stuff with, because we're going to be heading towards insanity, so we want to be able to, like, italicize shit, basically. Is that gonna be... Oh, that's only one thing. But also gotta keep in mind, is it gonna be absolutely unbearable for y'all to read on stream? Okay. Ooh. That's alright. Kinda boring. Now we're sort of heading into the boring bits. Use that one. That's not bad. Well, this song is super loud, I'm realizing. There we go, that's probably a bit better. Ooh. Kinda like that. Yeah. Don't mind that. If you feel you are being contacted by eldritch beings, If you feel you're being contacted by eldritch beings, please call an Uber Eats. If you're hungry, they're hungry. Oh, I do kind of like... But they don't have italics. What the fuck is up with that, computer? Okay, let's try this. Do you have italics? You do. Alright. Let's go with this. It's like, we're going with Sitka. It's like kind of modern, still a little bit writery. Yeah. And then let's go text semi-bold italic. Sure. And then this can be semi-bold italic. Yeah, that works. I think that works. And hopefully that is still clear enough for y'all to read. Alright. Sebastian. So we're gonna need pronouns as well. And we're going to need pronouns. And what was it? Artistic discipline. Oop. Okay. Pronouns. Ooh. Okay. I think let's go he, they for Sebastian, because I think I'm picturing like when Sebastian channels those like when Sebastian channels whatever eldritch entity he's connected to, I think it is a kind of like surrendering of physicality as well. Like maybe Sebastian, in those moments, Sebastian connects more with they, them pronouns because, well, he, they pronouns because he doesn't always feel like just himself. Feels like something other, something more. Cool, artistic discipline, writer. I'm gonna leave it vague. I'm not gonna give him a specific, like, he's a screenwriter, or they're a poet, or whatever. We'll just go with writer, and we'll see what comes out of it. I'm trying to decide if he's got a pen name. Actually, this is probably just because I like this word a lot. Rather than Sebastian, I'm gonna say that his name is Bastian. Like, no SE at the start. His name is Bastian. I think that feels right. And then it's also kind of like bastion, like a fortress, or like a tower, or like a beacon. I don't know. Feels slightly more eldritch than just Sebastian. Cool. Okay, we've got that. Bastion. All right. Your artist can follow any artistic discipline you can think of, but you will need to describe your artistic creations as part of the game. Random tables of artistic creations for painters, writers, and game designers are included at the back of the book. Thank you so much. Would be very cool to do the game design version of this, like, I'm picturing, like, if you had, like, JRPG Maker, and you could make some really wild games based off that. That'd be pretty cool. Okay. Muse score. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry, that's very funny because Muse score as one word is the name of a music writing software that I used to write my musical last year. Oh, that's funny. All right. This represents the power of your muse. The muse's power starts at 0 and can go up to a maximum of 5. Okay, so let's go 0, 1, oh, whoops, nope, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I draw a circle? I believe I can. Nice. Whoa! No fill. And then let's make the stroke red. And a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Actually, let's make it... Actually, I should probably make that even bigger so that y'all on the stream can also see it. That'll be helpful. And let's make it a little... Make it a little more purpley. I like that. Okay. Nice. How do I pick you up? There we go. We are at 0 currently. Beautiful. Okay. 0. Wonderful. Okay, and then... What is the last one we need to do? Connections. I have to say this... The rulebook for Muse is actually so well spaced, and I have to zoom it up to such a length that I can almost read it off my OBS, which is quite nice. But I will bring up the thing on my screen. All right. Connections. A connection is someone with whom your artist has a personal connection. Connections anchor your artist and help ground them in the face of the supernatural occurrences happening around them. Create 2 connections for your character, including their name and a short description of their relationship with your artist. You may have the opportunity to create additional connections during play. Some good examples of connections are spouse or love interest, family or childhood friend, parent, agent, patron, business partner, colleague. Ooh, damaged connections. Relationships with your connections can become damaged as events progress in the game. If a relationship is damaged in this way, check the damaged box. Broken connections. If a relationship that is already damaged is damaged again, it is broken, ending your artist's relationship with that character. Check the broken box. Actually, this is a great question. Have I just missed a character sheet somewhere? No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, that's fine. It's possible that there is a character sheet to download as well from DriveThruRPG, but we're just doing it in our journal for now. Okay. 2 artists. Razor Rain. Sup? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we gotta pick 2 connections. Let's go connection 1. And then connection 2. Boy. Oh boy. I'll just do it this way. It'll work. Connection 1. Which episode is this? Which episode? No. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just going through my music. That one didn't quite fit the vibe, so I'm skipping it. Let's go here. What's this game? We are playing a solo RPG called Muse. It is a solo RPG, which means that you only need yourself to play it. You don't need a GM or anything like that. And essentially, we're role-playing as an artist that has a connection to some sort of eldritch entity. So it's an eldritch horror RPG game that you can do in any sort of artistic format. As my own skill set fits, I'm gonna be doing this as a writer because that's the easiest thing to do on stream. But you can do whatever you want. You could be an artist, you could be a dancer, you can pick and choose what you like. So we are just at the very beginning of it, putting together what our character for the game is going to be. We know that their name is Bastion. I am going to change that song as well, because that's no good for me. It's way too loud. There we go, much better. We know that their name is Bastion. We know that they have he, they pronouns, and we know that they are a writer of some kind, and we're just currently coming up with our 2 character connections. Very cool. Yeah, real cool. I'm excited to pick out what stuff we're gonna do. I think, and this might be rude, this might be a bit of a read on Bastion. I don't think he's published yet. I feel like he's not actually a well-known published writer yet, so I don't think he's got an agent. Business partner, colleague, parents, scathing. Listen. I'm pretty rough with our characters. We discovered that last week when we were playing Quill. I'm not very precious with my characters. Often bad things will happen to them. I'm kind of leaning childhood friend. Maybe childhood friend. Yeah, I think, okay. The first one that I'm picturing, and I'm just gonna put name for now, because I don't know what their name will be. The first thing that I'm picturing is like a childhood friend that we're not good friends with. Bastion is not good friends with them, but they're like the only other person in whatever city that we're living in, or like place that we're living, that we kind of know. And maybe our like parents kind of know them as well, or like somebody else in our that is closer to us also knows about them. So like we have that as a connection in the sense that they are the only other person that we have another connection with, that if something was wrong and a person that cared about us wanted someone to check in on us, they would reach out to that person. We don't actually hang out with them that much, I don't think. I don't think we're necessarily best friends back when we were closer friends, but that's the vibe of childhood friend that I'm picking up on. That I'm picking up on, like I'm channeling. Okay, childhood friend, not super close. Second best option to call in to check on us when things seem rough. If you have any suggestions for names of this childhood friend, feel free to chuck them in the chat. Your added creative input is always welcome, though I may turn it down. But it is welcome. Childhood friend, not super close. Second best option to call to check on us when things seem rough. What is it? What did it tell us it wants us to put in there? Name and a short description of their relationship with your artist. Okay, yeah. That's about right. That's about right. Maybe never were super close, but is a caring person in general. So, like, we weren't super close with them, but they are a caring enough person overall that if someone were to reach out to them and be like, hey, could you check in on this person for me? I'd really appreciate it. They would feel obliged to do so. Yeah. And I think the... I think the feeling that I'm getting for this second one is a sister. I think. Who, again, is very caring. Is it Astrid? Is that their name? Ooh! Tell you what, I really like Astrid for the sister's name. Bastion and Astrid. I like that. Astrid. Sister. I'm gonna say... Ooh! Ooh, we actually haven't done this yet. Twin sister. Maybe she's also got an inkling of that connection that's going on. Maybe she also is aware that some things are a little bit weird, and so she can't quite ignore them fully. I like that. Twin sister... regularly checks in, but don't hang out a lot. Possibly has an inkling of the eldritch connection at play, but and so can't fully give up on it, I think. Give up, air quotes. Yeah. I like that. I like Astrid as the sister. Do we have another name for the childhood friend? Just me running through names of childhood friends in my, in my head. I'm feeling the childhood friend might be more of a masculine person. Sable! Ooh! Oh. You're giving me great options. I actually really love Sable as a last name. Astrid Sable. Sorry, not coloring, so only suggest baked potato. Appreciate it. Appreciate the input regardless. Baked potato. Bastion Sable, Astrid Sable. I cannot... I literally was just looking at baked potato, being like, what name can I make out of baked potato? And the only one I can see is, like, Ed, which we can't do because we had Edward in Save Community Radio. we've already tapped that one, and I refuse to do any repeats. Which is just how I go about RPGs in life in general. Childhood friend... Bastion, Astrid, and... Nope, can't do that. That's the same letter. Did we use that name? I don't think so. No. Bacon. Cassian. Ooh. Cassian is cool. Becca. I'm gonna go... I don't think we've used this name yet. If we have, let me know. But I'm gonna go Connor. Cassian is also a very good name, but then all of the names have that AS like sibilance to them, and that would bother me. So that's just me being picky. But cool suggestion. Connor. Connor. I don't want to call him Baker because that's the same letter. Connor. Oh, and we've got ABC. Oh, that's great. Connor. Connor Potts. There we go. That's like taking that from potato. That works. Connor Potts. Cassian number. Wonderful. So we got Bastion Sable, who is twin brother to Astrid Sable, and then we have our mild childhood friend, Connor Potts. Nice. I like it. Cool, and we'll see how well those connections go further down the line. Ooh, and that might be the end of character creation. Look at this beautiful artwork. Gorgeous. We love original art. Ooh! Your Muse. The Muse is an otherworldly eldritch being that lives outside of the constraints of normal physical reality. They inspire you to create works of great beauty and great horror, infusing your creations with eldritch power that perform terrible, wonderful, unspeakable miracles. Beyond all other things, your Muse drives you to always create. Ooh! Ooh, 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 ooh. Sorry, don't mind me, just checking in on stuff. In your journal, as the first entry, describe your first meeting with the Muse. Some questions you may want to consider. When did your Muse first come to you? When did you see or hear your Muse? Do you see it everywhere, only in dreams, only when you're alone, only when you are creating? In what form does it appear to you? Does it have a secret, true form that will only appear to you at the end when it devours you? Oh boy, and then we've got a bunch of example muses. Iridescence, a lithe figure 12 feet tall with opalescent skin that dances with shimmering colors. Its face is featureless and blank, and the number of arms it has changes from moment to moment. I think that might be iridescence on the cover. Though it is always more than two, and that they always have more joints than they should have. Oh boy. Pigment, a twisting mass of color and light like paint drifting on a pool of water, spiraling ever inward into itself in a dazzling, mind-bending display of beauty. The library, an ethereal library with towering shelves and an endless maze of halls. Whispers of trapped souls emanate from the books in the library, while the soft, menacing footsteps of the librarian are always approaching. Ooh! The Fiend, an ordinary-looking person who smells of hot iron. As they grow in power, they appear more fiendish. Their form is wreathed in shadow as an unnatural radiance emits from their mouth and eyes, while shadowy horns grow from their head. Ah, so this is the Fiend. I see. These muses are great. Okay, so let's move down to... How much of this page have we got left? And not enough. Let's move over here and change all the letters. We got Sitka. Boop, 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 boop. And this one. Okay. I had an idea for a thing that would be good, but, that would be fun, but would be bad for stream, where I was like, it could be fun if you're doing a writer that they are just endlessly trying to write the same story over and over again, and then, like, each entry is just a different draft of the same story could be fun, but very boring for stream. Just about to say it's still titled from the last one. Yeah. You can make your... No, yeah, we absolutely can. Those were just some example ones. And I think we are going to make our own. First musing. There we go. That's a fun title to chuck in there. A quill. True. Yes, Quill was the last game that we played, hence it's what I copied all the stuff over from to make a new document, so you'll have to excuse me. There's a whole backstory to being a little bit rushed into the stream tonight, but we're good. Okay. So we're describing... What is it? First entry, describe your first meeting with the Muse. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing that we kind of did for Save Community Radio, where it's like, here are the bullet points that we have to hit in this entry, and then we'll backtrack and make sure that we fill them all in. So, first met... I think the Muse has always been with us. Yeah. Has been around, been connected since birth. Yeah. I think that's right in terms of when we first met. When do you see or hear your Muse? Do you see it everywhere, only in dreams, only when you're alone, only when you're creating? I do still... Ooh! Ooh. I think the Muse... The Muse physically puppets Bastion when writing. He sees their fingers, their hands making his fingers hit the right keys. Like, I think it's literally like something is he sees like a hand like pushing his finger onto the right buttons, or like a hand that gets kind of like superimposed over his one and then just starts pushing all the stuff for him. Yeah. Okay. I am gonna make this smaller. So that we can fit more on the page. Sees their hands making his fingers hit the right keys. Does he hear them? What's the... So I like the idea that if Bastion has been, Bastion's connection to this entity is like mostly in like physical sensation, like feeling his limbs moving, feeling the presence of something. I'm trying to remember what the other, like, what the other nervous system, not responses, but the other faculties of the nervous system are in that same way. Like there's your 5 senses, right? And then there's also like, you know, like your perception of being able to, like, detect balance and detect gravity and detect heat and, like, all that kind of thing. Is it proprioception? Is that what I'm thinking of? No, I won't look it up on that one. Let's look it up on this one. Proprioception. Proprioception. Your body's ability to sense movement, action, and location. Proprioception is the sense of self-movement, force, and body position. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Mostly detected through proprioception. Because then I kind of like the idea... Ooh, we've gone... Oh, that's why. We've gone very fantasy. I think not. Oh no. Did I get rid of the wrong one? I did get rid of the wrong one. Then I like the idea of his sister being able to detect the entity through, like, a different sense, like maybe sense of temperature or something like that. I think that could be cool. Is it this one? Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just finding where the heck I got my music from. Where are you? There we go. Great. Alright. Danger music. Exactly. We need to have the danger music going for this one. Perception and movement. Do I think that he hears them? Maybe? Yeah? Although I do also kind of like... It's very, like, automatic writing, which is also a... We're getting into how much somewhat bogus occult knowledge I have of, like, when people... Sometimes when mediums are pretending to talk to ghosts, they'll do automatic writing, so they'll, like, get in a trance and then just close their eyes and randomly write stuff and say that it's a ghost channeling through their body to write the stuff. So I kind of like that idea of the Muse doesn't actually talk to them. The Muse like forces him to write stuff down, or like makes him, or like takes over his hands to do like sign language or something like that. I think would be cool. I'm gonna turn that music down again because that is very intense. All right. So I don't think Muse is wait. The Muse doesn't make noise to Bastion. I don't think the Muse makes sounds. What does the Muse... What's the other question? What form does it appear to you? Does it have a secret true form that will only appear to you at the end when it devours you? What form does it appear in? Okay, so what if the Muse is only... I think the Muse is only seen as, like, you know when you have, like, puppeteers in, like, stage shows where they're like all in theater blacks usually, and so and if they're doing like a full body puppet, you won't really see them that much. You'll just see like the edges of their limbs kind of moving the puppet around. I kind of like the idea that at the moment, because the Muse's control over Bastion is only at 0, I kind of like the idea that Bastion has only ever seen its arms. And its arms kind of look human. So, like, I think he's only seen it kind of, like, reaching over from behind him to, like, take over his arms or his limbs or whatever, or, like, move his face around. And I like the idea that if he ever tried to, like, your Eldritch Muse... your Eldritch Muse is wearing a morph suit. Yeah, the Eldritch Muse is wearing a morph suit. Exactly. So I like the idea that... I mean, I think it would be difficult, because it would be difficult to force this thing to show itself, because it's able to kind of take control of his physical body in a lot of ways. But I like the idea that, like, the closest Bastion has ever gotten to seeing this thing is, like, looking in a mirror one time and just seeing, like, arms hanging behind him. Like, loosely hanging behind him. Just, like, waiting to grab a hold of him. I like that a lot. That's quite creepy, if I do say so myself. Okay, the Muse... only ever seen the Muse as a set of arms either reaching over to take control or hanging loosely behind him. Yeah. I kind of like the idea that, like, well... I like the idea that... I like both ideas. My brain is thinking, like, maybe they're connected in the same way that, like, wings would be. Like, maybe they're connected to the middle of his back, and they're just reaching out from there. But I also like the idea that it's just, like, a person standing behind him that he can never properly see. I like both options. Interesting. Okay. And I do like this song, but I am going to change it because it is intense. And thumping. I'm probably going to take that one out. Okay. So. Now that we've got all that, that's all of our bullet points. Now that we've got that handled. So this is the first entry describes your first meeting with your muse. Some questions you may want to consider. Okay. So this is not an artwork necessarily influenced by the Muse. This is just our first time meeting the Muse, is what we're describing. Okay. All right. This is now we're at the co-working section of the stream. If you haven't been to one of these before, where I think and write a lot, and then I'll read it out at the end as we're going. But I could do with some help in picking a voice to go with for this one. I don't think we've just done American yet. I don't think Hayden was American. I can't remember. Anyways. Oh no, Coral was American. That's right. Yes, it's really cool. Please excuse the lot of me doing weird hand grab pushing things. I'm just trying to, like, work out the right words for what I'm trying to describe, and I have to kind of get the physicality right. The impossible has happened. There is a cream sauce I like. Ooh, nice. I'm assuming... Oh, but you said you're having baked potatoes. So not pasta? But that sounds good. Cream sauce sounds pretty good. Articulating the... Oh, yeah. Articulating the fingers to articulate the thoughts. Exactly. It's probably because I loaded it with pepper and garlic and cheese as opposed to mushrooms and cream. That does sound delicious. Oh, baked potato and venison steaks. Delicious. Oh my goodness. Oh, so fancy. Sounds amazing. Gotta fuel Sammy's healing. Indeed. Hmm. I'm gonna try something in this writing that, again, my folks hunt so it's one kill and they give me yummy parts. Nice. I'm gonna try something, and again, I'm just gonna give a heads up, because this game can get dark and stuff. I don't think Bastion has a positive relationship with sensitively talking about mental health. I'm not gonna get terrible with it, but I don't think Bastion is a person that is, like, careful about mental health phrasing. I think he is a person that is like, I'm not crazy, what are you talking about? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this person. So I'm putting that out there. Just to be clear that this is me writing in character, this is not how I would actually talk about mental health. Although I feel like most of the people watching this, know that about me. I just feel like I want to put that disclaimer out there. Oh boy. Ugh. Trying to get comfy before writing from less than ideal character perspective. Just the Sorry, this song is making me laugh because it has a sound effect in it that is the same sound effect that they use in Supernatural when they're doing, like, ghost whispers. It's like a stock ghostly whispering sound effect, but that is funny. The Wilhelm scream of ghost whispers? Yeah, basically. right. I think that's a good first entry. I might actually make this even a little bit smaller. I think you all can still read that okay? Yeah. Alright. Boom! Here we go. Just because the story is, no, not the story, just because the song is giving me supernatural vibes, I'm gonna go back to the American accent. Yeah, okay. Wait. Actually, yeah, screw it. Okay, I'm gonna do my vaguely New York accent for this, because that also makes me kind of go into a more masculine register. And then that's also funny, because our previous character that we thought might be from New York did not have a New York accent, so we'll go with that. Why not? Don't hold me to it. It's just a voice I'm doing, and that's what I have to think of to do the voice. I'm not trying to specifically be anyone from anywhere. Alright. This is the first entry. The arms have always been there since we were born. Sometimes they're kind. They can stop bad things from happening, like a reckless kid running into a coffee table. Sometimes they're just there. I'm not just seeing things, I know that. I can feel them there, the pressure of them hanging just behind me, waiting. I can feel it when it takes hold of me. Us? No, me. We're not the same thing. It's not a diagnosis. I'm not crazy. Astrid knows it's there too, even if she tries to hide it. She's never been big on hugs with me. Can't exactly blame her. So for the record, to be clear, the arms have been there from the beginning of everything. Of me. And fuck, maybe everything. They move like they've been alive forever. They don't make me right all the time, like right now. This is just me, forming the words I want, all on my own. The words it makes with my hands are other. I don't know why it needs them so badly, but it writes so desperately I can feel my knuckles bending back by the final line. I just wish I wasn't worse without it. Hey, nice! I like it. Huzzah! First entry done. Wonderful. I like that. I like that voice for this, for Bastion. Gives him a kind of like a little bit of grit. Wonderful. Cool. First musing. Second musing. And actually I will make this slightly smaller, just so we can fit a little bit more on the page. Alright. Down to 20. Boom. Christopher walking here. Oh boy. Alrighty. That is our first entry. Ooh. Pretty muses. Right, that's the first entry. Now let's get to actually playing the game. That's often how these games work, when we have to do all this setup in advance. Alright, I think Quill and Vicissitudes of Fame were the only games that I managed to actually get in one stream in their entirety. Alright. Chapter 2, Gameplay. Muse is played in a series of scenes that will play out the rise and fall of your character. Each scene could be a day, a week, a month, or even a year, though the exact length of the scene is unimportant. Was that a Friends reference? I'm sorry, did you try and sneak a Friends reference into this horror game? When it hasn't been a day, a week, a month, or even a year. I see you. I see you, game. Roll the dice. Before you embark upon each scene, you will roll 2 dice to determine the course of the events for the scene. The artist die represents the strength of will of your artist. The artist die begins as a D8. Got a D8. If you have 2 or more unbroken connections, it's a D8. If you have 1 unbroken, it's a D6, and if they're both broken, it's a D4. And a Muse die. Ooh. The Muse die represents the will of the Muse. The Muse die is always a D10. When you roll the Muse die, always add the Muse's power score to the result. Okay, which currently is 0, because we're at baseline with the Muse, which is good. Your prompt. Oh, I see. Okay, so we've got to roll first. All right. Well, do we do that, or do we need to go through all the rules? Where are we at? Okay, I'm gonna read through all the rules first, and then we'll get into the gameplay. So, your prompt. Compare the results of the artist die and the Muse die plus the Muse power. If the result of the artist die is higher than the result of the Muse die, your creation is a normal painting uninspired by your Muse with no supernatural qualities. Take your prompt from the artist prompt table equal to the result of the artist die. Easy. If the result of the Muse die is equal to or higher than the artist die, your creation exhibits supernatural qualities. The severity of these qualities is determined by the result of the Muse die, with 10 being the most severe. Some examples of supernatural effects are included in the Muse prompt table, and then you take your prompt from the Muse prompt table. If you roll the same prompt you've already used, you can choose to do one of the following. Describe a new situation using the same prompt, move up or down 1 line on the prompt table and use that prompt instead. Sure thing. For example, you have 2 connections and a Muse power of 1. You roll your artist die and your Muse die. The result of the artist die is a 6. You roll a 2 on the Muse die and add the Muse power for a result of 3. And then because the artist die is higher, you use the artist table. Makes sense. Fill out your journal. Your journal is where you will describe the events of each scene. Your journal entry should do 2 things. Describe the art you produced during the scene and any supernatural power it has. You can describe this in as much or little detail as you want. 2, follow the prompt and describe any interactions you have with your Muse or connections during the scene. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, we may not... we are a writer, but I'm not just going to write multiple short stories because that takes a long time. So we will describe a lot of stuff. Kind of similar to how we did community radio, I imagine. Which is a lot of kind of like bullet points about what we worked on today. The end. When the strength of your Muse reaches 5, your next creation will be your most haunted creation to date, but also your last. The Muse devours everything that remains of your being, suffusing it into your final piece of artwork. There is no epilogue. Oh, damn. Wonderful. Oh, cool. And then there's an example of someone who was doing like artwork, and this is a description of the artwork. Beautiful. Something called the Hollow Sun, which I won't read all the way through. And then a description of what happened. Oh, this also involves a sister. My sister has stopped taking my calls. Interesting. Very cool. Ooh! Some cool paintings. Gorgeous. Alright, and then we've got our artist prompts and our Muse prompts, which are slightly more in-depth. Ooh, and some more beautiful artwork. More ways to play cursed artifacts, linking it with other games. Oh, cool! So it even has suggestions for if you want to link this game with other role-playing games. You can take all your artistic creations with their terrible supernatural effects and the entire career of your artist and import them into another role-playing game for your players to discover and interact with. Trophy I've not played before. Trophy players might raid vaults of an art collector where the supernatural creations of a master sculptor are hidden away, waiting to ensnare the treasure seekers. Blades in the Dark, players may be hired to heist a painting, unaware of the horrific effects it has on those who view it. Or Dungeons & Dragons, players may be recruited to search for a collection of lost books, each of which is a portal to a demi-plane where characters in act out the events of the story on a loop forever. They got blue skidooed! No! Amazing. Okay, cool. So pretty straightforward. If whichever die is higher, the artist die or the muse die, we go to that table and we use the number prompt on that die. Sounds simple enough. What I will do before we get into our first scenario. Oh boy. Oh boy. Before we get into our first scenario, two things. One, I've just been given the message that I'm going to be playing two different games at once. If you weren't here at the start of this stream, I'm simultaneously playing a home game of a different mini quest that I have to do tonight because our home game is tomorrow. And I also wanted to do this stream, so I will be doing that at the same time. Apologies. But, part two, I need a quick break to head to the bathroom. So, I'm gonna run a very quick ad break. Like a couple minutes. Take this time if you need to. Go grab a snack or a drink or whatever you might need. And I will be back to start our first entry, in a couple minutes. So I'll see you then. Bye! Okay, good. I'm so glad that things kicked off like this so that we are indeed playing two games simultaneously. My brain can definitely cope with this. Alright. First things first. we are doing our first roll. So we've got a D8 for our artist die, and we've got a D10 for our muse die. Let's see who comes out on top. First things first. Oh! That seems so unlikely, but we got a 6. I don't know if you can actually read these dice that well. We got a 6 on the artist die, which is pretty good, but... I mean, a 6 on the muse die, but we got an 8 on the artist die, so the artist wins out, first and foremost. Maybe Bastion is a lot more, is a lot hardier than I was thinking he would be. Okay, amazing. So it's a perfectly normal story. Wonderful, what's 8? Ooh. The power of his denial, truly. Whoa, we actually got a really good thing. You confine your muse to a mental prison and leave your studio where you meet someone new. Create a new connection and describe how you met them and built your relationship with them. Holy shit! Wow, okay. Wild. To a mental prison. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous for a first roll. That's so funny. Get out of the studio and make a new connection. Who are they? How do we connect? Oh, that's kind of tricky to do out the gate. Okay. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Do 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 do. Sorry, don't mind me. Okay. Okay. So we get out of the house and make a new connection. That's wild. Ooh, okay. What if it's a... I think the new connection... is... I don't have a name for them yet. The new connection is another writer. And maybe we meet them at, like, an open mic or something. Like, we take our work to a... like a writing group or like an open mic scenario. Probably a writing group. Which is actually... I did do a short story writing, a short fiction writing course in university, and we always said that we were going to start up a writing club, and we never did. We basically never hung out ever again. So maybe this is actually... I like that. They were going to form a writing group, and then only 2 of them showed up. Okay. Fellow writer... trying to start a writing group. Only 2 people showed. I like that. That's a good starting block. Dion! Ooh, I like Dion. Yeah. I also appreciate you following the ABCD rule that we've now established. We're naming things like Adventure Zone arcs. It's great. Okay. Cool. So we have to... I'm simple like that. That's fair enough. Hey, if you gotta... Ain't broke, don't fix it. What? Okay. What do we think that they wrote? Story. Hold on. Story. Maybe this is a... a collection of esoteric philosophical musings. Ooh. Ooh. I do like that. Collection of esoteric philosophical musings. Okay, so... what it is to be. A semi-fictional essay. Oh, not essay, but like essay. Air quotes. I like that idea that oh, so this isn't what Dion wrote, this is what Bastian wrote to take to the oh, but I like that though. To take to the group. Okay, hold on. Right. So what it is to be is what it is to be what it is to be is Gion's esoteric philosophical musings. And then I think, because that makes sense, because then that's why they bonded, is like Dion was writing something about kind of existence and what it means to exist in the world and his own personal struggles, and then that like hit true with Bastian, but Bastian themselves wrote something different, but like came to the group, and then when they were sharing stories together, Dion's writing really spoke to them, and that makes sense why they might have formed that connection. I like that. Nice. Okay, cool. Good. Okay. So then I think, because what I'm picturing is Bastian, a short fictional story about a modern man taking a countryside excursion similar to the I think it's 1800s writings of practice of recuperating away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Bastian wrote this story try and to actively counteract the negative claustrophobic feelings he had begun to foster. And on finishing the... Ooh! Upon finishing the story, he opened the curtains his apartment for the first time in an unknown number of weeks. Actually felt sunlight on his skin. In the reflection of the window, couldn't see the arms hanging behind him. Hanging behind him. Nice. I'm gonna add Dion up here. Dion. Dion. Okay. Dion. Oh, I want to change that. That's fine. Fellow struggling writer, with unconventional views / ideas about philosophy and how people exist in the world. They are the only 2 current members of a writing workshop group. I believe that's what they're supposed to be called. Okay. Cool. Great. Cool. Love that. Okay, so that's the story. Philosophical musings on existence and how people define who they are as people. A reminiscent of a scattered manifesto of sorts. That's Dion's vibe. That's the vibe I'm picking up from Dion. Great. Let's take this, copy, and paste. And then we're gonna finish up the second half of this over here. Musings continued. Entry. So the story here is describing the writing that Bastian did that day. And then this entry is like Bastian's description of the events that have taken place. So like in the example here, there's the kind of description of the artwork for this individual. And then this is the smaller journal entry that Bastian is writing. I do. I do now have to say everything I'm writing in a New York accent. As I'm writing it to make sure that the language makes sense. It's cliche. Tried. What? Try. No. It sounds cliche, but I just can't. I don't know what that final thought song. Felt it. Wow, something, right? When did asteroid drop off those groceries? Like a week ago? A month? A day? A year? Like a week ago? Yeah, feels good. What did I say? Help with. That's ever been an issue. The writing happens all the time. Dead. The writing happens all the time. It's just shit. Okay. Complaining won't help anybody. I know enough of myself. No, I'm to know tearing down. No, tearing myself down. Isolation won't make me a genius. No, won't make me a prodigy. Shit. Having given this character a New York accent suddenly makes them swear a lot more. I apologize. Shit. Shit. I think I'm shit. I think my work's shit. Shit. Let's get a second opinion. There's this writers group was advertising a get together down at the local coffee spot. Coffee spot. Coffee spot. Ooh. Hold on a second. First title. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Get together down at the local coffee spot. Okay. So I thought, fuck it. I know them. They don't know me. Nothing lost. We hate each other. Pretty well, actually. I mean, only me and one other guy, but I didn't hate him. Leon. Nice guy. Okay, coffee. Bet he doesn't mind my story. Even if it was a little basic. No, even if it was a little bland. The guy's got big ideas. Which is... The guy's got big ideas. I'm honestly happy to sit through. Creating my own on end. It's repeating my own on end. Honestly happy to sit through. Beats repeating my own. I think that's it. I don't think we're too sentimental yet. So I think that's all we need. Great. So, how did I make this? No. Please leave me alone. Why? There we go. All right. Who am I? Where am I going? The never knowing. Alrighty. So, the beginning of the second musing. So the story that we wrote is called The Idyllic Life, a short fictional story about a modern man taking a countryside excursion similar to the 1800s practice of recuperating away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Like, basically whenever anybody had, like, consumption, they were like, go and get some fresh air, it'll make you feel better. Bastian wrote this story to actively counteract the negative, claustrophobic feelings he had begun to foster. Upon finishing the story, he opened the curtains in his apartment for the first time in an unknown number of weeks, and actually felt sunlight on his skin. In the reflection of the window, he couldn't see the arms hanging behind him. And then what it is to be Dion's esoteric philosophical musings on existence and how people define who they are as people, reminiscent of a scattered manifesto of sorts. H.P. Lovecraft, is that you? I know, right? And then this is Bastian's entry. It sounds cliche, but I just can't remember the last time I saw the sun. Or felt it, even. I must have gone out of the house sometime, right? When did Astrid drop off those groceries? Like a week ago? A month? God, it feels so good. Get the blood flowing, so they say. Supposed to help with writer's block. Not that that's ever been an issue. The writing happens all the time, it's just shit. Okay, complaining won't help anybody. I know enough of myself to know tearing myself down in isolation won't make me a prodigy. If I think my work's shit, I should at least get a second opinion. This writers group was advertising a get-together down at the local coffee spot, so I thought, fuck it. I don't know them, they don't know me. Nothing lost if we hate each other. Went pretty well, actually. I mean, it was only me and one other guy, but I didn't hate him. Dion. Nice guy. Paid for the coffee, said he didn't mind my story, even if it was a little bland. The guy's got big ideas, which I'm honestly happy to sit through. Beats repeating my own on end. Nice! First entry done. Okay. So now we are back to story. Okay, cool. Story. Good. Alright. Next roll. So we're still at a D8 and a D10, and we actually have an extra connection now, which means it's going to be harder for us to decrease our artist die, which is cool. Like that. Was not expecting such a solid start from the get-go. So let's see what we get on the second roll. Okay, yeah. So that's a 2 on the artist die, and a 6 on the Muse die. Yeah. Muse was pissed that we left. Sorry. Okay, what have we got for 6? 6. Ooh. Muse prompt. You intend to function with one of your connections where your creations are being shown. One of the attendees of the function has a supernatural encounter with one of your creations during the event that spooks the attendees. Describe the event and damage your relationship with your connection. Oh no! Okay, that makes much more sense. Honestly, that makes so much sense. We just introduced Dion so that we'd have an excuse to go to an open mic night and then ruin our relationship with Dion. Oh boy. Supernatural effects. Inspires emotions and physical effects in viewers. Example, after viewing it, viewers begin crying for no reason, or shortly after seeing it, their hair turns grey or falls out. Easy come, easy go. Oh boy. Okay. Damn. Alright. Okay, so we have to write interesting. Ooh. So I'm gonna say the story that we write, because we started this off with putting our muse in a mental prison, is what the previous entry said. So I think this next story is one where, like, we have a nice time hanging out, and then, like, maybe the next day, because we close our curtains to go to sleep at night or something like that, maybe the next day, like, before we're able to get up and open the curtains again, the muse takes over and, like, forces us to write a story about not liking being caged up. And then the emotional response that elicits in people when they read it is, like, a desperation to like, escape. Like, a desperation to run out of whatever place they're going, and it just makes everybody leave the open mic night, and it's a total failure. I think that tracks. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so I don't like walls. A furious. Oh, and that's actually. Oh, that's funny. Yellow wallpaper-esque short story about a person driven into a frenzy after being consigned to a small shack in the wilderness. They were told not to leave the structure for their own safety, because a dangerous creature lurked outside. Possibly a bear, possibly something other. But they eventually grow so fervent that they would rather run outside to their death than be forced to stay another night in the cabin. And they disappear into the wilderness. And then that's also very funny because Yellow Wallpaper is a... If you haven't read Yellow Wallpaper, it's intense, but I do recommend it. It is a good story. But that's also funny because Yellow Wallpaper has that premise that the idyllic life has, where this woman is sent to go live in the countryside because she's unwell. And so it's like, go and get some fresh air, darling. That'll cheer you up. And so it's like, the Muse is forcing them to write this, like, direct response, kind of referencing the story that Bastian tried to write. Entry. Okay. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, that immediately went bad for you. Okay. Great. So now we've got to describe basically just everything went so bad. Everything was extremely bad. Okay. Should have known this would happen. Same goddamn every fucking time. Why do I even bother? People. Fucking tattoo it on my forehead. Do not bullshit other people's lives. Don't know. You don't wanted me. Missed the prompt. What did we roll? We rolled a 6. So we're having to do. You attend a function with one of your connections where your creations are being shown. One of the attendees of the function has a supernatural encounter with one of your creations during the event. Describe the event and damage your relationship with your connection. And the supernatural effect is that it inspires emotions or physical effects in the viewer. So basically, our muse has forced us to write another story that is like, hey, you fucking put me in a mental prison last we chatted. I don't fucking like that. So here's my response. And the emotional, or physical and emotional reaction that it prompts in people is that they run. Like they are overwhelmingly, they are overcome with a desire to get out and escape and flee, even at risk of their own safety. And so they, everybody just fucking books it out of the, out of this, like, poetry reading or, like, open mic event, that Dion had invited us to, and now we're not as good friends with Dion. Wanted to, take me along to this showcase thing. Stupid. I went. Like an idiot. One good outing. What, just forget when bad shit happens? I didn't even mean to bring the story with me. I didn't bring the story with me. Can I move my hand though? Second, my hand moves though. I can feel it. Something else. Grabbing the papers out of my pocket. That pressure. Rope. Reading out the words I never wanted them to hear. Lady Nearly, broke a hip. Sprinting over the tables to get out of there. Sprinting over the tables by the end of it. Yeah. Just ran right after. Oh, damn. Stick around. Oh, I can actually. Hold on. Yes. I just wanted to be able to put fuck on the end of that journaling tree. Okay. So, this is the next entry. So the story that Bastian wrote this time is one called I Don't Like Walls, a furious yellow wallpaper-esque short story about a person driven into a frenzy after being consigned to a small shack in the wilderness. They were told not to leave the structure for their own safety because a dangerous creature lurked outside. Possibly a bear, possibly something else, something other. But they eventually grow so fervent that they would rather run outside to their death than be forced to stay another night in the cabin, and they disappear into the wilderness. The journal entry. I should have fucking known this would happen. It's the same goddamn outcome every time. Why do I even bother with new people? Fucking tattoo it on my forehead. Do not involve your shit in other people's lives. Dion wanted to take me along to this showcase thing. It's stupid. But I went because I'm a fucking idiot. One good outing and what? I just forget that bad shit happens? I didn't even mean to bring the story with me. The second my hand moves, though, I can feel it. Something else grabbing the papers out of my pocket. That pressure in my throat as it's reading out the words I never wanted them to hear. Lady nearly broke her hip sprinting over the tables by the end of it. I just ran right out after her. Doubt Dion's wanted me to stick around. Fuck. Nice. A Wendigo, please? Yeah, I think it's that kind of vibe of story, for sure. Very Wendigo vibe. Okay. Nice. Again, like, I, am not gonna write all these stories out because we do not have time for it in one stream, but if any of these inspire you to write your own versions of, like, the short stories that get described in this, please feel free to. That would be awesome. And please tag me in it if you ever do. Oh, or come and let me know in the chat, because I would love that. Amazing. Alright. Next roll. We've still got... Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. So, real quick, we gotta put... Broken... No. It's not broken, it's damaged? Is that what the... Let me remind myself how that works. Connections. Damaged, yeah. Relationships with your connections become damaged as events progress. Cool. And then how does our dice change again? Okay. So as long as we have 2 unbroken connections, we're still a D8. So we're good. We haven't fucked things up with our sister or our kind of childhood friend. So those are still golden. But let's see what happens next. Alright. Well, we got a 1 on the artist die, so that's not a good start. And we got a 5 on the Muse die, which I think means we get the same thing again. But it is a slightly different story. 5. Your muse is filled with joy. And with its joy, your perception of the world bends to make the whole world seem to be a work of art. Describe what you see when you leave your studio. What? Okay, alright. So the muse is happy with itself that it it got us to fucking ruin an open mic night. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay, so the muse is making us write a story, one that still evokes high emotion, but it's a nice one. You should listen to the Bright Sessions podcast. It's phenomenal. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. What's that? I've listened to a lot of podcasts, but I haven't listened to that one. The main one that this is honestly putting me in the mind of is the Magnus Archives, because it's very like entity beyond known world influencing the world around you. Um, okay. So we're writing a story, but our muse is happy. Uh, ooh. Um, I think, fantasy. Okay. Uh, my phone is popping off. Why? Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Okay. Um, uh, short story of a of a of the weeds in a flower bed. Uh, being elated. The weeds and wait, hold on. A post-apocalyptic short story from the perspective of weeds in a flower bed. Psychologist who is working with a bunch of people who've discovered they have powers that they can't fully control. Oh, cool! Is that an RPG podcast or just like an audio drama podcast? Sounds very cool. Sounds 100% like something I would enjoy. That I've the amount of stories that I've helped write along those lines, absolutely. It's an audio drama. Oh, cool. Nice. A post-apocalyptic short story from the perspective of weeds in a flower bed. They are elated at how they have thrived in the absence of any gardener or gardener to remove them. And the world seems a much more beautiful place, overrun with plants, vegetation, with overrun with bugs and vegetation. Yeah, that's right. It's a little cerebral and is well written. Nice. Very cool. Um uh oh. All right. So the muse is happy. Interesting. And apparently the world seems like a beautiful piece of art. which I can only really interpret in a sinister way. Oh, but I guess with its joy, your perception of the world bends to make the whole world seem to be a work of art. Huh. So there's a couple of ways you could interpret that, right? Like, you could interpret that as a work of art, as in something magnificent, like, oh my god, it's a work of art. Or you could interpret that as you are kind of seeing it as a fabrication. Like you're seeing the world as something that has been crafted and made by something. I kind of feel like the latter interpretation fits fits Bastion more. That he is like the Muse is happy. I don't think that that probably makes Bastion uneasy. And it kind of makes the world seem like a piece of art in the sense that, or a work of art in the sense that the Muse is very controlling, and it feeling a sense of joy would make Bastion feel like everything in the world is kind of following its instruction. And so it makes it seem like everything around him is sinisterly influenced in some way. Hold on. Let me change that one out, because that one is always too much. No, thank you. Okay. Okay. So I think that's what it is. It's more so, it's a work of art because he feels like he's seeing the strings, rather than it's a work of art because it's beautiful. I think that's more his interpretation. Okay. Days. Oh, that was the other question. That was the other thing I wanted to check. Hold on. When does the Muse's score go up? That must just be a thing that happens in certain entries, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah. Okay, so some of the entries refer to that. Cool. Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's fine and good. We haven't had that yet, so that's nice. Always gotta keep on your toes. Alright. The days when I can't feel it tightening around me. Oh, of course. Like a predator. Which you can't see. Predator. Predator that you can't see. Threat. When you pray. When you're pretty. No. When you pray. When you pray. It's worse. Not be right for your life. Caught in something's teeth. Jaws. Then. Oh, exactly where it is. Days. Any sign of it? That's because it knows exactly where you are, what you're doing, and it doesn't have to lift a finger. You're already where it wants you. These intros, the voice and these intros are also giving me slight noir vibes now. Talking in the like gritty noir voice. Like, thing about crime is it's everywhere. You're already where it wants you. Okay. You're already where it wants you. Body's got their own pressure. Keeping them moving. Your routine rotation. Look out. The street meets your bed. People are the same. The rest are in different orbits. But they hardly change. One big train track. Looping around. Could you imagine? Feel like without it? Chaos. Chaos. Freedom creates. Laws of society, physics, what have you. It's all there to keep things moving just so. Beaten path. When you Snap. Quick. That's when it bounces. That's when it knows where to bounce. Yeah. I like that. Ooh. Sorry, I'm playing the other game as well at the moment. One moment, please. Take a drink. Have to pause to go play the other game simultaneously. Okay. Alright. This is the entry. So, the fourth musing. Story. Oh, wait, actually, I need to include in here, what emotion it evokes, because this also evokes, like, a strong emotion. Story evokes a strong desire to calmly reveling in chaos, like one might bathe in a sunbeam. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Gone to Seed is the story, a post-apocalyptic story from the perspective of weeds in a flower bed. They are elated at how they have thrived in the absence of any gardener to remove them, and the world seems a much more beautiful place, overrun with bugs and vegetation. Story evokes a strong desire to be calmly reveling in chaos, like one might bathe in a sunbeam. Entry. The days when I can't feel it tightening around me are worse. It's like a predator that you can't see. When you pray, it's worse to not be running for your life or caught in something's jaws. At least then you know exactly where it is. The days you don't see any of it, that's because it knows exactly where you are, what you're doing, and it doesn't have to lift a finger. You're already where it wants you. Everybody's got their own pressure keeping them in routine rotation. You look out at the street each day, half the people are the same. The rest are on different orbits, but they hardly change. It's all one big train track that we're looping around and around and around. Could you imagine what it'd be like to be like without it? The chaos freedom creates. Laws of society, physics, what have you, it's all there to keep things moving just so. When you step out of line, off the beaten path, when you snap the wrong twig, that's when it knows where to pounce. Nice. Yes, I am complimenting myself after every entry. Okay, and now we are at our fifth musing. Okay, cool. Good, good. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So you should. Oh, thank you very much. Been wonderful listening while I procrastinate doing anything I need to do. Fair enough. Listen, that's basically what I'm doing with this too. Okay. So far, the only thing that's gone wrong is that we slightly fucked up our new friendship with Dion. That's not that bad. Let's roll for another entry. Could be way worse. Alright. Oh, please good things. Please good things. Yeah, good things! We got a 3 on the Muse dice and a 5 on our artist dice. So we are back at the artist prompts. This. Ooh! Ooh. Determined to maintain your relationships, you leave your studio to visit one of your connections. However, you are haunted by your muse the entire time. Describe your visit and how your muse haunts you. Ooh. Okay. Not ideal. Interesting. Great. Great. So, we still do a piece of writing. So, what story? Ooh. I think maybe this is an untitled one. Half of a story. Badly story draft. Bastion attempts to write about familial connections. Attempts to write a narrative about familial connections, but finds his fingers tire and stick in ways that limit his output. Yeah. I get that so much doing, like, transcription all the time. I have to actually, like, crack my knuckles a couple times, and, like, I usually have a hot water bottle with me just because my circulation's bad from sitting by myself so much, so I'll usually put my hands on my hot water bottle just to heat them up a little bit. Okay. So I think, in terms of maintaining connections, I don't think Bastion is overly concerned about keeping in Dion's good books. So I think he is more concerned about checking in with Astrid and uh making sure that that bond is still going strong, because Astrid tries to check in on him a lot. So every now and again I think he does try to return the favor. um but I think the way that um I think the way that the muse manifests the whole time is like um is kind of just fuckery. Um I think it's literally just like trying to just throw him off. Like it'll randomly make his like hand like move in a weird way, or it'll like pull his face to one side or something like that. I think it's kind of just fucking with him, and that in a way that like on the outside might look like kind of like ticks or things like that, where it's just the hand like suddenly spasms, or like his shoulder or his face kind of suddenly moves in a way that I think they are meeting for lunch, and that gets in the way of lunch a lot, because the muse is just trying to fuck around and be like, no, I'm not gonna let you have a good time. Fuck you. I'm just gonna be an asshole. Um, and so that's kind of how that uh manifests, basically. Um, yeah, describe your visit and how your muse haunts you. Okay, so um, I think we are going around to Estrid's house for lunch of some kind. Um, hmm. Uh, is my the Estrid. Not, not denying that. It's just she's so damn relieved. I can't do anything. Uh, that's supposed to help me with my issues. Feels like I'm such a mess. I do the smallest thing. She's overjoyed. I'm looking at myself. Am I useless? I'm not useless, alright? uh... Uh... Un momento. Okay. Uh... Alrighty. I'm not useless, alright? Doesn't probably look like it, though. Exactly model guessed. Talked bit. But barely stop myself. Flinging food halfway across the kitchen. So goddamn. Damn. She shouldn't have to be. Walks around like that. I don't know. Just shut down. Wow. Dang. How nice the weather was changing. But I didn't even not politely. Fucking bother again. If I try. That's what she said. Alrighty. So this is the 5th musing. The story for this entry is untitled. It is half of a story draft. Bastion attempts to write a narrative about familial connections, but finds his fingers tire and stick in ways that limit his output. And then the entry. It is nice to see Astrid, I'm not denying that. It's just... she's so damn relieved whenever I do anything that's supposed to help me with my issues. Like I'm such a mess that I do the smallest thing and she's overjoyed I'm looking after myself. I'm not useless, alright? Probably looked like it though. I wasn't exactly a model guest. We talked a bit, but I barely stopped myself flinging food halfway across the kitchen. She's so goddamn understanding. But she shouldn't have to be. When it fucks around like that, I don't know. I just shut down after a while. She kept saying how nice the weather was changing, but I couldn't even nod politely. Some fucking brother I am. At least I tried. That's what she'd say. Do-do-do. Oh, poor guy. At least you tried, though. I'm sure she understands. Well, we kind of know that she does. That's kind of up to us, because it's our story. Okay. Nice. Wonderful. And we don't have any real bad things. Very good, very good. Nice. Moving on. We're still at the same base dice, which is pretty good, honestly. Things have not gone too terribly. I'm pretty stoked about that. Let's see how this one goes. Oh, no. I was like, oh, those are some pretty high rolls. And then I was like, fuck, that's not good. They're both high. We got a 7 on the artist die. And then we got a 10 on the Muse die. Oh no. Oh boy. What does that mean? What does that do? Well, I know because I spotted this before. A little bit. What? Ooh! Okay. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. As you channel the power of your muse into your creation, reality bends around your studio, allowing your muse to reach out and take someone nearby? Describe the last moments of someone who is not one of your connections who was devoured by your muse. Increase the power of your muse by 1. Oh no! Oh boy. My microphone is very loud all of a sudden. Oh no! That is a big problem. Oh gosh. Oh goody gosh. Well then. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Now I need to adjust this. Be fine. How's that? Yeah, that's alright. Okay, fuck. Alright. So, our arms swallowed somebody. Not ideal. Shit. Okay. Wow. Sorry, I'm just fixing my... I turned my audio down because I saw that it went to, like, it went super high. It went, like, it read it out, and so I was like, ugh! But I'm just fixing it. But now we're, okay, alright, okay. Hoo, ha, hee. Let me think on that while I jump back. Here's your prompt to have a drink and get a snack, because I'm playing my other game. Oh god, this stream is such a mess. Alright. Okay. Alright. So... Okay, so we have to do a piece of art that consumes somebody. Okay. Okay. Gosh. Because the Muse is largely about control. Well, it's largely about controlling Bastion, but what... I'm trying to work out in my brain what, like, what it is trying to achieve through Bastion and why it wants to consume somebody in order to do that. I think... Ooh. So here's what I'm picturing for this entity, right? Is like the stronger it gets, the more the more features it gains. So like at some point it's gonna be, rather than just be arms, it's gonna be like arms and a face that is kind of looming behind him, and then whatever else that becomes. And I'm trying to think of what part would come out of it first. Or what part would be formed first, and then what that would involve stealing. Ooh, eyes could be good. I do like that. That's a good call. Okay. Person becomes blind and Muse. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I do like that. Like the... Oh, that's so creepy. Okay, alright. So I think... what I'm picturing, right, is like... So... Bastion only really sees the Muse when he's looking in the mirror, right? And he kind of sees it as like the arms behind him or the arms that kind of reach over and to make him do stuff. I like the idea that when the Muse gets eyes, like they exist kind of like an after image. So like he can't see them if he's standing still, but if he moves his head, the eyes kind of follow where his eyes were, like that after, like a sparkler kind of. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. So then, in that case, we're gonna be consuming somebody that has good eyes. Just probably like a nosy neighbor, I'm guessing. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So then what? What is the story? So in order to fuel... I need to consume that person to fuel this story. It's called The Hills Have Eyes now. um... It's a story about... I think... Weirdly, I think it's a positive story. Like, I think it is a intended to be happy story. It's called Each and Everyone. Sure, that works. Screw it, let's make it a novella this time. A novella? Novella. Fiction novella from a first-person narrator. The story follows a character who is played by an invisible entity, and lives in shame for a lot of their life. Due to events, the narrator decides to, okay. Sorry, one moment. I am looking up. I am also playing another game. Drink. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Oop. Mm. Okay. The narrator, due to events, the narrator decides to uh develop a device that allows that makes the entity visible to everyone. Creating it, they accidentally reveal that everybody has a monster with them. They are, in fact, all like. That they are, in fact, all the same in that respect. There we go. See, it's like kind of a nice story, because the story itself is like, oh, I've got this horrible demon inside me. Fine, I'm gonna tell everyone about it. Oh, everybody has a horrible demon inside them. I'm not an outsider at all. Kind of nice. Huh. Okay. Okay. So that's what the story is. Then, so then we need to do the entry. And I think this entry is... Well, yeah, this is going to be a post-incident entry. I don't know... I'm trying to think of like how the entity actually devours this person. But I think I have an idea. Yeah. Okay, alright. Okay, I've got an idea. Um, now how to write it. Gotta remember it's in a New York accent. um, um, combination it made with my I hope that it finally left. Bigger. Mm-hmm. Yes! Thank you, mistyping. I accidentally wrote him, and then I was like, no, I was trying to say me, and then I'm like, but character moment. We accidentally wrote him. um, love me a good strike through in a journal. Why do you need so much? Watching me. All right. Okay. So, The sixth musing. The story that is written, the utterly cursed story, is called Each and Everyone. It is a fiction novella from a first-person narrator. The story follows a character who is plagued by an invisible entity and lives in shame for a lot of their life. Due to events, the narrator decides to develop a device that makes the entity visible to everyone. Upon creating it, they accidentally reveal that everybody has a monster with them, and they are, in fact, all the same in that respect. Here is the entry. I feel sick. The arms pour out of me, like my spine ripped from my body. I must have screamed, cried, wailed. It's been sitting in me all that time, waiting for this abomination it made with my body. There was a moment where I hoped that it finally left. As if I would be that lucky. It forced itself back into me, and I can feel it's more now. Heavier. The pressure, like, eventually, with enough time, it'll force me out of this husk. I want to rip it out of him, scratched out. Me. Please. Why do you need someone this pathetic? It was just a body before, but I know now. It's watching me, right behind my eyes. Whenever I move, it follows just a little too slow. Like an afterburn. Just slow enough to show me it's there. And it'll always catch back up. Please, God, someone get this out of me. Tell me what the fuck you need me for, and I will write you your freedom. I don't give a fuck what else happens. Just let me go. Uh-oh. It ain't going to, buddy, because this is a tragic story, and it just got more power. Oh god. Wait, can I even move this? Hold on. We are now at... There we go. We're at 1 power, baby. Whoop. Amazing. Oh boy. And as we as we finish that particular entry, that is also gonna be where I'm gonna leave it for this evening. Oh gosh, I like this. I like this little adventure. This is a fun excursion into the world of Muse. A super fun game. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I hope you have fun. If you want to pick up this game for yourself, it is either pay what you want or free on DriveThruRPG. I highly recommend it. It'd be super cool to see if people do other stuff with it, like if they actually like make paintings and things. And I do think it's a great inspiration for making your own like artifacts and stuff for different adventures. Very cool. I might come back to this on Saturday. We'll see. I think this is a much longer game than the other ones, even though it says like 2 to 6 hours. I think it has a chance to be quite long, so we might come back to it on a Saturday. We might do something else. We'll see how we're going, but we will definitely be back next week for more solo RPGs. If you aren't already catching up with it on the stream, what you doing? Go ahead and hit follow and have your notifications on and come back next Tuesday so that we can do some more of these. The next one I am also looking forward to. It's going to be a little bit unique, which I'm looking forward to. And yeah, we're actually in June now, so we've only got a few more weeks before the end of the month is upon us with lovely Kiwi RPG Week, and we'll be doing our Monster of the Week stream, which I am so excited for. But thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I hope you had a nice time listening to some spooky music and me roughly doing a New York accent. Hopefully we're back same time on Saturday, but if not, I'll see you some other time, no doubt. Thank you for coming and hanging out. All the best with whatever else you are getting up to, and I shall see you next time. Bye!